socks, pants, t-shirts, sweater, toothbrush and toothpaste. Let's have a campervan adventure. Ah, yes, this'll do nicely. What a splendid spot. Now, before the self-appointed COVID police start saying, you can't go anywhere in your camper van, you know. I know that, and that is why it is still in the car park, where it normally lives, just a few yards away from where my boat is moored that I live on. So I'm not going anywhere. But I am curious, you see, having done all the finessing and refining of the van, doing those new cupboards and things, and moving the loo around, I'm curious to see what it's like to stay in the van. So this weekend, I'm going to be in the van, in the car park, experiencing that camping life without going anywhere. The first order of business, of course, is to turn the gas on so that I can have a cup of tea and put the heating on if I want to. There we go. Well, I think I timed that just right. I've got myself in and comfortable just as it started to rain. So now I'll spend a few moments getting things all sorted, ready for the weekend. Let's switch from driving mode to parked mode. Now I can open everything. I've just realised something I haven't done is fill up the water containers, so I'm going to go and do that now. There's one, and the other is behind there under the sink. It's now 6 o'clock in the evening and it is starting to get a little bit chilly. I've put a blanket over my legs for now, but I'm considering putting the heating on. And fairly soon, I suppose, I might start considering what I might have for supper. I've also put the covers up at the windows as it is starting to get dark, hoping they'll stay in place. They just stay there by friction, but they seem to be a little less keen on staying up this time round. I just caved and turned the heater on, and it's giving me 5 flashing lights. This is suboptimal. Well, apparently 5 flashes means combustion airflow sensing, and you have to check that the exhaust and combustion pipes are unblocked, which they are, or should be, because I put a little cap over them when the van is just sitting there doing nothing, and I've taken the cap off now to let the air in. I'll try giving the thing a reset. Well, fortunately, it turns out the device was just lying, because when I turned the control knobs off and on again, without doing the full reset procedure, I just turned them to the left and turned them to the right, the thing switched itself on. So I think it was having a funny 5 minutes.
Now moving on to something which again is quite unique and pretty rare in terms of you don't really see them on the road. It's a...
You're going to regret that. Let's do it.
The time is now 7:15. I am getting hungry. It's Friday night, and quite often Friday night is pizza night, but pizza usually goes in the oven, and in the van I don't have an oven. However, I do have a Ridge Monkey, which I've never tried, so I'm going to see if I can do pizza in the Ridge Monkey. I know lots of people have done this on YouTube, but I've never tried it, so it'll be a first for me. Now, the pizza I have in mind is quite large, so I'm going to have to do it in multiple sections. Here it is. just your standard cheese pizza. Actually, it's a 5 cheese pizza, to which I shall add some tomato, I think. Yes, I've got tomatoes. Excellent. If I'm going to do this, it's clearly going to have to be chopped into multiple pieces. Oh well, give it a go. It's dribbling cheese. It's dribbling cheese everywhere. Let's not waste any of this valuable cheese. Yeah, I think half, and then I'll have to take a bit off it. Right, there's a piece of pizza. I guess I need to heat the thing up first of all. Right, that's working. And I'm guessing a Ridge Monkey probably wants quite a low heat to act more like an oven. So I assume I need to start it going and just get it warm before we kind of preheat it. So I'll give that until it's warm on top, I think, and then I'll shove the pizza in. It's a few minutes later. That is now warm, so I'm going to slide a bit of pizza into that. See what happens. Oh yes. I'm not sure it wants to be sizzling. Right. I wonder if I should have done that on the smaller gas ring. Yeah, I wonder if I should have done that just to give it a bit less of extreme heat. I've switched it over to the smaller ring to give it a bit less heat so that it won't burn on the bottom, but hopefully just warm up inside that thing. We'll find out in a minute. Well, it's starting to melt the cheese. Yeah, it's kind of warm. Lukewarm at best. Maybe I will turn it up a bit. This is not going well. I've had a look at the pizza, and it is burning underneath. Look at that. Oh, that is black. That is very black underneath. That is not good. Not good at all. Right. Oh, God. Right, I might try that. Let's turn that off. Well, it certainly looks warm, and the cheese is melted. I've had to turn the fan on because there's so much smoke blowing around. I don't want the alarm going off. Well, it's warm, mildly warm, edible. Not exactly a resounding success, but I'll eat it. Second piece, done solely on the lowest heat, has come out a little bit better. Melted cheese, crispy base, and warm all the way through, so that's all right. Well, after all that wasn't too bad at all, so now I've just got the washing up to do. Starting to warm up a little bit of water for that, and I'm not quite sure if all that burnt pizza is going to come off this, but I guess I will find out in a minute. Ah, the glamour of campervan life. Well, some hot water, a dash of detergent, and a good going over with a rough sponge normally brings me back up to shining, as it turns out does the Ridge Monkey. Look at that, didn't need much more than a gentle wipe over. However, one thing is troubling me, and it's this. That is a pathetic dribble. You can hear the pumps going, but it's not really pumping much. So I don't know what's going on with that. I've given the pump a little jiggle, but to no avail. I'll look at that tomorrow. It's 10:15 now and I'm starting to think it's time to go to bed. I got some new bedding. I bought some new duvets and pillowcases and things like that recently, which I've not tried out, so tonight will be the first time of trying those. Got a summer duvet and a winter duvet. Tonight definitely a night for the winter duvet, but I will use the summer one as a bit of extra padding under the bed to make it a little bit more comfortable as well, I think. Time to get naked. Well, hark at my lovely linen. Yes, feeling quite warm in here. So I will stick the light out and I will bid you good night. See you in the morning. Good morning. It is late morning. Very late morning. I'm having something of a lie-in. Slept very well though. By and large, nice and warm. Even ended up sticking my feet outside. Not outside the van, but outside of the duvet overnight because I was that warm. I suppose I ought to get up and have some breakfast. I wouldn't mind a shower before breakfast, so I've put yesterday's icky clothes on while I assemble the shower tent. Oh, what have I done with all the ties? Uh-oh. Right. Do not know what I've done with all the little tent pegs that hold it down. I wonder where I put them. I cannot find the tent pegs. Luckily there's almost no breeze today, so the tent is going to have to stay up by hope and magic. And I shall go and fill my bucket with some cold water, which I shall then heat some of it up on the stove to make it lukewarm. So tempting. Right, there's half a bucket there. Little mat leading me to the shower thing. And inside I've got a pot and a kettle heating up some of that water to make it a bit warmer. Plus I've dug out of storage the battery operated shower attachment, which I don't know if it's actually charged, but it's only had one use, so it should be okay. One thing of hot water, shower gel, hose, towel, clothes. Right. Well, that was all a bit of a faff, really. I think I am clean, or certainly cleaner, but I think the first mistake was filling up the bucket from the tap rather than just using the water in the van, because the water coming out the tap was pretty ice cold, and that meant even though I then added about 3 saucepans of boiling water to it, it was tepid at best. That would be a generous description of it. So there was a small shriek when the water first hit me, and then I adjusted and I managed to get sort of showered. But it worked, I suppose, and the tent hasn't blown away. I'd probably better dismantle it or find something to weight it down with, I guess. But now, breakfast. Albeit it's gone midday, so perhaps brunch, arguably even lunch. What I'm going to do is a couple of soft-boiled eggs with hopefully toast in the Ridge Monkey. And of course, a cup of tea. I think one of today's tasks will have to be dissecting the water pump to work out why it is going so slowly. Perhaps there's just some sort of blockage in the pipe, maybe. Spoon. That didn't really work.